Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And in this video, I'm going to show you how can we print numbers or stars like this number triangle or the star triangle which you can see on screen. Like we have to print as many number or as many stars as the number of line. So if it is fifth line, we'll have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or maybe 5 stars. Sounds interesting? So let's get started and let's see how we can implement this in Java and JavaScript. Now, before we go and see the solution, let me tell you that, and I think you can also probably assume that we'll have to iterate through some for loop. Yes, of course, we'll have to iterate in some kind of for or do while loop. But when we are iterating in a simple for loop, we only get to print the number 1. So we can print all the numbers from 1 till 10 if we are iterating in a for loop. Like in every single iteration we will print 1 and the next iteration will print 2 and then 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. But how do we print multiple numbers or multiple stars in a single iteration? Well, this is the solution. Are you able to already understand the solution? We'll have to implement a nested for loop, which means there will be an outer for loop which will iterate for the n number of times, and for each of the iteration, like say for example when we are on the 4th or the 5th iteration, we'll have to print 4 or 5 stars, or we'll have to print the numbers from 4 to 5. Sorry, the numbers from 4, the numbers till 4 or 5. Which means we'll have to implement another for loop within the outer for loop, which will start from 1 till the outer loop count, which means till I. So here is an example of a nested loop or a for loop within a for loop which does exactly the same thing. I hope it is clear, but please go ahead and copy this code and run it in your system to actually see what is happening. And this will print the numbers, the 4 or the 5 numbers in every single line. Now as a variant, please use the similar code to print the star triangle as I have shown. Or maybe instead of printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in line, just print 5 times 1 in the 5th line. So try out those variants, because if you slightly tweak this current program, then you should also be able to try out those variants. And it's very important that you try out, you first run this one by copying the code, and then you try out those 2 variants. So with that said, let us see how the JavaScript version looks. Also very similar. Here also we are actually implementing a nested for loop, which means an outer for loop, and within the outer for loop an inner for loop which counts from 1 till the current iteration. So the code looked very similar, but of course the difference between the JavaScript and the Java syntax. So in JavaScript we do not need the class declaration or the main method declaration. We can just write the code like that, and the variables can be declared with the let keyword, as you can see, and also like how we concatenate the variables. The way in which we concatenate the variable is slightly different in JavaScript. So that is why you see the line which contains the 5 stars or the 5 numbers have been concatenated like that, have been concatenated like a string concatenation. Now let us quickly see the demo of the 2 programs running. So here is the JavaScript program, and here is the Java program which will print the numbers in each line. And I will have to first compile the program using Java C and then print pattern. The program gets compiled, and now I will run the program. See, now say for example, as a variant, I want to print 1 in every line. So I will just hardcode this with 1. And if I run again, will it print? No, because Java is a compiled language. I will have to first recompile my change and then rerun the program. So I will have to do again a Java C and create the binary and then run the program again. So now the program again ran and you can see the output. So please go ahead and also run the program yourself and try to print the star triangle. It's very easy, as you can make out, but please do it yourself, because that is definitely going to give you more confidence. Now we are going to run the JavaScript version. So here is the JavaScript version of the program, and you know JavaScript is not required to be compiled, so we can directly run the program. Because I used a constant 4 here, so so many times 4 is printed in that corresponding line. Now, say for example, if I want to just print like that, so that's it. So also for the JavaScript program, you can see that structurally it looks very similar to the Java program, only the differences that I already mentioned. So that's it. I hope you should also be able to run it and also print the star triangle yourself. Thank you for your patient listening. I hope it was useful, but please go ahead and try it out yourself. And please also refer to my blog, which also has the code which you can copy from there. And apart from that, if you are struggling to set up Java and JavaScript and Visual Studio Code in your IDE, I have another video. Please find that video and use that to set up Java and JavaScript and Visual Studio Code so that you can actually start coding in Java and JavaScript. So all the best. And if you really liked this video and thought it was useful, please subscribe to my channel and like the video, because that would motivate me. Thank you very much.